I'm listing my house for $619,999. If you or your realtor of choice thinks randomly selecting a price to put your house on the MLS system is the way to go, then take a few minutes, watch my February monthly market update, and I'll show you the informed way to do it. And if this is your preferred method, I got a tip for you too. Walmart's got a really good price on darts. Let's go! Hello everybody, Dale Charbot, LePage Team Realty, and welcome to my February 2023 local real estate monthly market update. This is my attempt to make you an informed seller or buyer. And an informed seller or buyer is a better seller or buyer. So there's certain things that we look at in this business. I'm going to list them for you. I'm going to tell you why they're important, what they are, and why they're important, and how they affect your overall house price. So the first thing we're going to look at is the number of active listings. So it's like anything else. The more listings that you have on the market, the more options buyers have, so the less they're likely to pay for that house, for any house. So if you only have a small number of listings, then the prices go up. And that's what's happened over the last 2 years, as anyone who's followed the market has known. The last 2 years has been kind of a crazy market where we've had bidding wars and bidding competitions for houses. You put a house on the market and you'll get 5, 10, sometimes 20 and more offers on that house. That has ended for the most part. We're back to what I call a more normalized market. So I'm going to give you the number of listings currently on the market for our area, and our area for me is Iroquois, Morrisburg, Cardinal, Prescott, and the 3 surrounding townships. That's the market that I focus on, and that's the market that I know the best. I'm going to give you, for each of these statistics, I'm going to give you the current month, and then I'm going to give you the last 3 months, because sometimes in an area that small, 1 month can skew the numbers. So when you average it out, it tends to be more accurate. Now I'm also going to give you what the market was 7 years ago. And the reason why I'm using 7 years, I just read recently that the average Canadian stays in their house about 7 years. So if you had bought your house 7 years ago and your average, and I understand that can be all over the board, but if you do, you're going to have an idea of where you were 7 years ago when you bought it, where it is now, and that way you'll know what direction the market is heading. So total number of listings. The current active listings for February 2023 in the area I specified is 100. In January it was 95, December 102. So we're averaging for those 3 months 99 listings. So I'm also going to give you what the market was doing when it peaked. So the last 2 years, as I said, it's been a kind of a wonky market. So in April of 2022 is when we hit our highest price for this area. At that point, there was 97 listings. So we're about the same, but you can actually see the listings are starting to climb. Now, if you have bought your house 7 years ago, we were averaging for that area basically 390 listings. So 390 to 99, one heck of a change, which is why it has affected the price. The next thing you want to know is something called continuous days on market. CDOM is the acronym that we use. And the reason why that's important, some realtors will list a house. If it doesn't sell, they'll take it off, put a new price on it, put it back on it, comes up as a new listing. So it resets the days that they're on the market. And MLS tracks the days on market. So to give you a more accurate number, the MLS system gives you what's called continuous days on market. So if it's on for 50 days, they take it off, put a new price on it, and put it back on. The CDOM kicks back in at 51 because it just keeps on going. So this area we have averaged for February 2023. It's lasting about 76 days on the market. For the last 3 months, it's about 77. So that's holding steady. Now back in April of 2022, On average for that area, listings were lasted 25 days on the market. So 25 to 76, it's tripled. It's tripled because the local market has slowed down. The entire market actually across into all of Ontario and Canada and North America has slowed down. And that's reflected in that. Now, back in 2015, if you had bought it 7 years ago, like the average Canadian, the average for those 3 months was 132 days. So we're half of what it was when you bought your house 7 years ago. The next thing what we look at is months of inventory. And what months of inventory is, if we're selling 10 listings a month, and there's 100 listings on the market, it will take 10 months to clear those listings off. It's telling you the activity of the market. So how quickly homes are coming off the MLS system, are being bought. So 2023 February, it was lasting 6.3 days on the. There were 6.3 months of inventory. So it would take us just over 6 months to clear off the inventory. For those 3 months, December, January, and February, if you average them, it would take 8.8 months to sell all the inventory that we have. Now, April 2022, when we peaked, it was taking about 2 months to sell our houses. All the houses on the system would be cleared out in about 2 months. So we've gone up 4 times what we were at the peak. Now, back in 2015, so if you look at the same 3 months, December, January, February of 2015 to 16, it was taking over 16 months to clear the inventory off the market. So we're half of what we were back 7 years ago, but we're 4 times what we were at the peak. The average sale price. Now, this is the one everyone keys on, and I have a bit of an issue with it, and I'll explain to you what my issue is as we go forward here. The average sale price for February of 2023 was just a hair under $410,000. When you average those 3 months, the December, January, February, the average 3 month price was just shy of $355,000. Now, April 2022, the average sale price for that area for that month when we peaked was just over $472,000. So we have actually dropped about 20%. Now, we've dropped about 25%. Here's my issue with that. That's what, if you watch the news or read the news about local market, all you hear is prices are down, you're way off the peak. That in itself is true. But that doesn't make any difference if you bought your house 7 years ago or 5 years ago or 4 years ago. 7 years ago, the average price for those 3 months was $163,976, so $164,000. So if you had bought your house 7 years ago, you're double what you were when you bought it. If you didn't follow the market and didn't realize what was going on in the last 2 years, and I came to you and I said, you know what, I sold you this house for $164,000, I can double that for you right now. You'd think, where do I sign? This is great. So sellers shouldn't be focused on how much the market has come off. It should be focused on what they bought it for and what they can get for it in the current market. That's an informed decision. And of course, all these are simply averages. Don't focus on the numbers, focus on the trend, not the specific numbers that I'm stating. I'm stating averages. Obviously, some are above, some are below. So the number of sales. This also tells you how active the market is. So for February 2023, there was 16 sales. When you average the 3 months, December, January, February, there was just over 12 sales on average per month. Back in April 2022, when we peaked, our prices peaked, there was 47 sales in that month. So it shows you what the market has done. We have actually backed off quite a bit on the number of homes that are being sold. Now, back in 2015, January 2016 and February 2016, those 3 months averaged 24 sales a month. So we're selling a greater volume of houses but the prices now are a lot higher. So again, if you bought 7 years ago like the average Canadian, the market has changed, but focus on what we are doing now, not what we peaked at back in April. If you are considering selling your house, probably the most important thing is to get the price right off the bat. Statistics show that if you list your house too high, for example, you kind of take the method of that silly little opening that I did, and just hope that you've got the right price, but it's too high, you will actually sit on the market far longer than if you had priced it right out of the gate. When it sits on the market too long, you'll actually get less money for it than if you had priced it properly. The reason for this is, and I've been doing this for over 20 years, buyers will always take the attitude that if they see a house and it's been on the market for a long time, then obviously, in their mind, there is either A, something wrong with the house, or B, the location isn't suitable because nobody's buying the house. There's something that's keeping people from away from this house. So they're very unlikely to come in and pay top dollar for it. So you'll actually get less. You think you're going to put a high price on it and you're going to get a higher price, but that's not what works out. You put too high a price on it, you'll actually get less money for it. So the amount that the house sells for compared to the original list price, not if it's dropped the original list price, is the next thing we're going to look at. So for February 2023, the average was selling about 2% off the list price. For those past 3 months, it was about 5%. 5% is normal. 3 to 5% is normal. Now, back in when we peaked around last April, March, they were selling anywhere from 4% above the list price, sometimes 8%, sometimes a lot more than that. But that was a crazy market. We're not in that market anymore. So back in 2015, 7 years ago, they were selling again, sometimes 5, a little over 5 or 3% off the asking price, the original asking price. That's the normal range. So if you list your house, you should get, hopefully you would get 100% of your asking price. That's what everyone hopes for. But in reality, you're going to get 3% below the asking price down to about 5%. That's a very normal range. So thank you for taking the time to watch this video. I hope you gained a bit of knowledge about it. I like to see whether you're a buyer or a seller, be as informed as you can be. This is a big decision. Selling or buying a house is the biggest purchase virtually all of us ever make in our life. I think you should go into it with your eyes wide open and all the knowledge that you can get, so you are making an informed decision. If you're considering selling your house, by all means give me a call. I'll come by, I'll give you a market update on it. There's no obligation, there's no cost. If you decide not to sell, hey, that's your decision. But you should know what's going on in the market and where the market value for your house is today. So by all means, give me a call. My contact information is coming up following this. Thank you very much for taking the time to watch this video. Dale Charbot, we're a LePage team, Iroquois. Thank you. Bye for now.